Good morning. This is Bayview 21.1 with your hosts Jerry Xie and Aatif Azim.
Thank you, Jerry. Today we'll have a special segment on video games.
Video games, eh?
Yeah, with the most recent releases of the prestigious PS4 and the renowned Xbox One, we have a lot to talk about.
Today, we'll be going through the winding roads of video game history and then move on into the future of gaming, which will also include our special interview segment. Take it away, Jason.
Thank you, Jerry. Now, how did every parent's worst nightmare begin? Well, back in 1951, the electrical engineering company Ferranti built one of the earliest video games, called the Nimrod, which was a special-purpose computer that played the game of Nim, a classic mathematical strategy game. Fast forward 7 years, a great achievement in technology was made, Tennis for Two, which revolutionized the gaming industry due to its condensed size and the use of its oscilloscope screen.
This advancement led to the creation of Pong, perhaps still well known across the world and is often thought to be the first video game. It was a simple game where players had to hit a ball between each other controlled with a joystick. In 1979, mankind took the first big step into the video gaming industry as Activision Publishing Incorporation was born. You may know it as the creator of the popular Call of Duty franchise. It was the first independent developer and distributor of games for gaming consoles, and some of its first products include the cartridges for the first Atari 2600 video console system and the Pitfall game. The next big advancement came in the 80s, the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was introduced along with Super Mario Bros. From the well-known Japanese company Nintendo. It was the first gaming console to heavily dominate the gaming market, and is still, to this day, one of the most successful gaming consoles ever. It has sold almost 62 million copies to this day.
Wow, that's unbelievable! That's more than twice the amount of the original Xboxes sold and even beats our modern competitors like the Nintendo 3DS and the Wii U by a wide margin. But after the NES came one of my favorite video game franchises to this day, Legend of Zelda. That's right, the game everyone knows about a hero named Link trying to save the Princess Zelda. This sparked a multi-million-dollar selling franchise of games, including my favorite, the Ocarina of Time.
And finally, in the mid-90s, the gaming industry birthed a pair of twins, both bound for success. However, only one of them could make it big time. It was a battle of the Sony PlayStation and the Nintendo 64. Both sold millions upon millions of copies, but in the end, the PlayStation prevailed dominantly and turned out to be the fourth most successful gaming console in the history of video gaming, with over 102 million consoles sold. It left the Nintendo 64 in the dust, but it still managed to sell roughly 33 million copies.
With the end of these consoles, it started a video game revolution. These consoles all left a legacy that is still remembered and praised today, and set in stone for the games that will come in the future. Now, we move on to the future of video gaming.
Thank you, Jason. Now, they say that our past is the foundation to our future, but is that really true about gaming?
Of course! Haven't you seen how technology has evolved from now to then? Back then, you had pixelized graphics that were praised. Now you have real-life CGIs that still do not satisfy the gamers of this century.
So what's the first thing on the horizon then?
One of the most prominent and famous examples of technology of the future is the Oculus Rift, a virtual reality headset that is capable of simulating another world. This crowd-funded eyewear makes you feel like you're inside the game.
Wow, that's amazing! Maybe one day in the future I could actually afford one of these.
Actually, the prices of these will likely go down as the amount of investors and interested buyers go up. During this year, Facebook bought the whole project for a few $billion.
Moving on, it's not only the Oculus Rift that's going to be the next big thing. There's much more than that. Our next technology of the future is cloud gaming.
Today, many corporations are adopting the use of cloud gaming.
There are actually two types of cloud gaming: video streaming and file streaming. Video streaming is where all the processing of a game is done at the game's servers. All button presses are sent from the consumer's computer. The benefits of this are that the computer won't have to process the game, so hardware will no longer be a problem. It also means the game will not be downloaded onto your hard drive and waste space.
Meanwhile, File streaming is downloading a small portion of the game, say 5%, and letting it download while you play. This allows the consumer to get straight into the game in as little amount of time as possible.
That is definitely going to be the future of all games. And we can now finally expect to get in straight to the game and experience none of the annoying steps that we must go through with every game installation.
Next up, leap motion. One of the technologies that has already been established but is still evolving today. In short terms, it's simulating your hands and finger motions as a mouse.
In the future, and even now, the leap motion can be used for gaming. Currently, it only senses your hands, but in the near future, it could receive more advanced features that could be based on how fast your gestures are, or the distance from the leap motion. It can also expand to sensing your arm. This could lead to breakthroughs in first-person shooting. This will not only help make the games more realistic, but help users get off their butts and actually do some physical activity, which is one of the biggest problems of video gaming.
Good one, Jerry! Does that count as going to the gym? Because now I don't have to pay for a gym membership.
That's funny, Aatif. This brings us to the last object of the future, but it might not be as so far in the future as you think.
The Kinect, similar to the leap motion, however, has many different uses and much more complex code. Now you might be thinking, Kinect, hasn't that already been released? Well, Microsoft is creating and improving a completely new version of the Kinect. Currently, the systems use an infrared sensor, depth sensing, and a 1080p pixel camera. The actions created by your body are all recorded and calculated by the Kinect, which are then reinterpreted as commands. The upcoming Kinect will feature a completely evolved system of new features, including upgraded versions of infrared sensing and depth sensing. One of the more important features is its ability to detect a whole room and all the actions that are performed in it. This allows for a whole family to participate in a much larger space, which lessens the possibility of injury. With these capabilities, the Kinect can be used for a variety of games.
And with that, this ends our Fast Forward segment. Thank you.
Hi, this is Steven, back here with grade 11 student Andrew. Hassan. Hi, Hassan.
Hi.
So, what would you like to see for gaming in the future?
In the future, I want to see some more interactive games, more 3D games. I think that there's a lot of potential in the 3D market, with ideas such as movement games like Kinect and that kind of stuff. So I think it'd be pretty cool to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Well, for gaming in the future, I see a lot of games that are optimized for 3D television, but I think there's no games for 4K television, and I think that would increase the graphics.
Are there any upcoming games that you're excited for?
Man, I stopped gaming for a while, but definitely the new Assassin's Creed. I've always been a fan for that series. I used to play COD too, but I kind of stopped for a while. But in terms of role-playing games like Assassin's Creed, I think there's a new Mass Effect coming up. I don't know, but that kind of stuff. I'm really interested in that kind of stuff.
Very cool.
Well, I'm always excited for FIFA 16, because the graphics are always changing and they're always becoming better.
Me too. And do you think video gaming has developed to become a positive or negative effect on society?
I mean, video gaming it's really depending on how you kind of perceive it. I know some people play too much, and that's really bad for them because if you keep playing too much, it becomes an addiction. When you harbor this addiction, it's really negative on your personal health, on your social health, and that kind of stuff. But really, if you're able to control it, I feel it's a really great way to relieve stress. It's a great way to just have fun.
Yeah.
Well, I think it has both a positive and a negative effect, because for a positive, it teaches kids how the video games are worked if they want to delve deeper into that subject. But it's also negative because people can get addicted. Like there was a football player that got addicted to COD and he dropped out of his football career.
And do you think it'll stay this way?
Yes, I think it will stay this way because the kids are too immature to understand.
All right, you heard it from Hassan. Yeah. And do you think it'll stay this way?
It depends how a video game develops in the future. I think if we're able to create more innovative technologies, to try to incorporate kind of movement action games, I think that'd be pretty cool. That'd be beneficial for us as a whole.
Very well said, Andrew. You heard it here. Back to you, Jerry.
And now, we finally come to the end of our new segment of video games.
we have shown you a lot of technology from the past, present, and future of video gaming.
And now, when you walk past an electronics store or go to your friend's house to play their PS4, you should consider the long legacy of consoles that have evolved to be what we have now.
Many consoles were created during the 20th century. Many successes, many failures.
Now, in the 21st century, what will be the next big hit?
Thank you. Till next time, it's your hosts,
Jerry Xie,
and Aatif
signing out.